94.7 Asempa FM Suni Ekosiisen Judgement no asuguswa utie no ma yena mu nyina asese matwen yen ama yakọ asan so ababio ye de Ekosiisen Judgement no etoa moso se de yedi kan ere ato manim no ensem bebre na wo ho aye behwe na yedi ho enkomo. Fortunately yedi to manim say yensa ebeka the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee in Ghana's Parliament, the Honorable John Jinapor, oye MP for the Ekosiisen constituency. Nyame adom wa be cancer e studio ha. Just gone by the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfred Yabo Adame Edi enkomo on government's position and the history as they know it behind judgment that ruling by the arbitration in the United Kingdom. The position of the former administration and so on, everything that has happened. Bansana mema Jeja Kwaba no amasaman okohwa yechi amasaman fo nyina ene Melcom atoamo ewo ho. Melcom, your number one shopping brand, now opens at Amasaman Abeheniase on the Obom stretch. It's over 30,000 square feet. You know, Sasia Yaje Ewo 30,000 square feet. Into your huge car parking space. Ewo na shop ni nyina so ye fully air conditioned. We know it's a brand new Melcom shop pa with over 20,000 products on display, ranging from toys, stationery, exercise books, exercise equipment, electronics, groceries, furniture, home decor, houseware, kitchenware items. Yes, I will supermarket and your stocky provisions. Come. And your electricals segment and so inti resident in and around Amasaman. Abehenia say obeye ashalaja. Is it Fisei? And Dar Salam, Akramai, Doblo, in Sakina, you would get a whole new shopping experience. You'll be here from Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then on Sundays, 12 noon to 8 p.m. Terms and conditions apply. Melcom is where Ghana shops. In the Shannon Somayin, now Opesa Melcom shopping experience. Nibia, you don't need to come to town. Say what Amasaman and in Korea, in here, say Obeba Krum. Yeah, the Melcom at Twawo. It's a huge Melcom shop at Yebi Ewo Amasaman Abehenease on the Obom stretch. Edishan so FRMIA. And name Aminfa wins when Chem say person would pay our taxes. It's now become very, very easy. Or custom duties, all other GRA payments, very easy. Uko Consolidated Bank of Ghana branch Bia or Ghana, how bit metria. Uti fee so our phone or office so far phone. You just have to dial *222#, *222#, and then you can pay your custom duties, your GRA taxes, Environmental Protection Agency levies, your Ghana Standards Authority levies, Food and Drugs Authority levies, and levies for all other government services. Ubitimi etria just by dialing *222# in the *222#, and then follow the prompt. Now per invoice, you can download and print your own invoice. Oko ghana.gov.gh. You just have to fill the form there. Now, what generate our invoice? Unti bibiase afre 0302 216 000 0302 216 000 CBG or see we stand with you in the Shannon so FRMIA. Mema the Honorable John Jinapor Akwaba. Jeja Akwaba na pom to say.
Minyo, mejozo kakra.
Ya pe ko so go boko.
Oh, boko.
Wujina monaizo.
Madauruma.
Na parliament and swear.
Oh, as ranking member for the Mines and Energy, I have a Herculean task.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Messiah a member of the Finance Committee. Okay. Juma kesi oha here. And that is what we have been doing. And no Ejuma na meya me comment on this huge judgment after by Godfred said but I have to do that. That's my job as a ranking member. I have to proffer an opinion, criticize when necessary, and even sometimes praise if need be. And I intend to do that. Okay. I mean, I won't be cowed down. I'll do what is right and proper.
Fantastic. And statement I make here and did this whole conversation around judgment debt. Abba say share the agreement in question and so agreement as straddle between two administrations from Mo and this current administration and so. The agreement in question government of Ghana and GPGC 2015 and a sign agreement now we deputy power minister at the time.
Yes, I was a deputy minister of power in 2015. Then I'm deputy minister for energy and petroleum under Honorable Boa.
Yes.
Then President Mama decided say best separate ministry into two and took me to power to be a deputy to Dr. Donko.
Yeah. Fantastic. Within that time, and your boss, the power minister at the time, on behalf of the government of Ghana, enter into this contract. The 75-page contract document, when you be a kind?
Me document na me must scan it bibia. That's what I do. So as I speak to you, I'm trying to open it from the web.
Okay.
But I'll get a copy from the car as well. Normally, I depend on the tablet a lot.
No problem.
But I've read through it. I mean, I'm conversant with it.
And at least for or more 8 years, to have a benefit of the agreement, because I want this conversation to be, follow a certain pattern from the agreement itself and the details thereof. Now, about all the other issues. No, Honorable say share agreement. No, of course, between the government of Ghana, represented by the power minister and officials of GPGC. But baby, a generate interest because the Attorney General now, I can say, this contract was bad for Ghana in his own words, and he raises the issue of some of the terms, because he makes the point, he says, the contract be a quarter. The court is interested in the terms of the contract. And you're starting from effective date and term option. Or say, contract we can say, clause 2A, or say, subject to the provision of clause 25 of this agreement. This agreement shall have a term commencing on the signature date and continuing until 48 months after the full commercial operation date. 2B, Nikase, the term shall be a guaranteed period, and in the event this EPA is terminated in accordance with the provision thereof prior to its scheduled expiration date as a result of the default of any of the parties.
It's okay, it's open.
Yeah. The party not responsible for the default may proceed in accordance with clause 25 of this agreement. In the honorable, with respect to effective dates, the term options, no, until say what one day.
Me no me da se bebre. Ne dikan ma menchia obia. Na enyuma ye nyina oman no eye yo ne epe ana meboa. Yes. Godfrey say already clauses ne bia. It's so lopsided. Who terminated or mine boka?
Yes.
Yes. So why did he terminate? Simple logic. This is commonsensical. Attorney General wash agreement he dear. Enya magana. Se make terminate a Ghana boka. And yet you proceeded to terminate. Mania, I am into finance. I'm into marketing. I'm into agric. I'm not a lawyer. Many already on a test here, he is a lawyer, the learned Attorney General. As a contract, one, Dr. Donko is setting up a negotiation committee. Yes. And when you read the parliamentary memo, representatives from Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Attorney General, the Ministry of Attorney General,
Ministry of Justice,
and Attorney General, from the various sectors. I don't even want to say I was not involved. Maybe because I was not involved, I'm not going to run away from anything. But there was a proper committee. Oma discussed it. We had a legal unit in the office, and I presuppose almost wipe it. This is Attorney General Godfrey Dami's opinion. No, in this thing you take it to another person. Who be reading hey, masa. And our lawyers just are no more.
That's true.
So that is his opinion. If we want to call cabinet And Obi, I'm not trying to patronize you, but you did very well in the interview, in my opinion. You asked him a question. Attorney General then, no, or shall agreement now? What was his answer?
The answer say he was not the Attorney General at the time. And the answer say the boss and having been
no. I'm talking of the Attorney General in 2015.
Oh, okay.
That was your question.
Yeah.
In the agreement, minister near you know, Attorney General
Yeah, or say yes.
Do you know his answer? Or say one of the initial address. Yeah, Deputy Attorney General. I mean, what kind of comment would an AG make like this? Is it fair?
But what's wrong with that?
Who is that AG? You just throw things out like that. No, is it fair?
Okay, to the point to make is one of the correspondence between the company and the ministry, you know.
No, I say address.
Company and address.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Was the address of the office
a deputy
of one
minister
of the
be address as a
deputy AG?
Yes, is it fair? Who is that? But you asked him a specific question. Said, did you check as AG? Godfred said, year agreement, no. Attorney General be share ya now one share. He didn't answer that question. He went off. But
that allegation now raising, you know, if true, won't you be surprised?
So now he's thrown something out. A lawyer of that repute. He's cast something out there. And now people are asking, now, is it fair? If you think it's fair, fine. I am just raising those issues.
No.
Yeah.
I think
so let me proceed, Mr.
Question
yeah.
Let
me proceed. Agreement, no. A cabinet.
That is true.
A free cabinet. A parliament. MPP had more than 100 people in parliament. Papa Usonkuma, or your former AG, no. Michael Quay, the respected former speaker, no hobby.
In 2015.
In 2015, lawyers are, excuse me, and with the greatest of respect to Godfred, omuye with seniors. No money now. So much agreement, him. And I'm a boy. And what is this issue? What is this issue? And a clause 2, clause 3. Just a what you want to say. And I'm a business. So you knew, said Duke. So clause you betcha Chirgana. And yet you went ahead and terminated.
And no. And no, Oka said they then based that assessment on the report of the committee you set up.
So let's go to the committee's report. Simple. This is the committee report. It's a 194-page document. I've read everything from A to Z. I've read the parliamentary hazard. I've read the contract agreement. I've read the correspondences and everything. Page 171, paragraph 492. The PPA committee suggested that the actual development cost of the project to date should be verified. That means, because company no GPGC.
Yes.
And used as a guide for termination. In other words, the committee suggested that government of Ghana should negotiate a settlement which it would only compensate GPGC for its actual development cost rather than what GPGC was entitled. The committee calculated what it estimated that actual development cost to be and thus came to a price of a negotiated termination of $18 million.
And where report ben okay?
This is the full judgment.
You mean the judgment from the tribunal
yes,
in the UK?
An independent tribunal.
No, I thought you were reading the Ahinkra committee.
I will read the Ahinkra committee report to you. This is extras from the Ahinkra committee report.
And a judgment need take it.
And they take here, and it's in the Ahinkra committee report, page 4.
Because I have the Ahinkra committee report here. In the page 4 said the
Ahinkra committee report say that all of the electricity generated Ahinkra committee ni my page you know. Me you want page 4.
Yes.
Ahinkra committee say money negotiate here is 18 million. Godfred Cracker say 18 no. He doesn't know how they came by
how
the
they
18.
Came by that 18.
So that is what the committee said. Committee say call GPGC.
Yes.
Sit with them negotiate with them. Na ye jidi se mu negotiate ya. Motua ye 80 million. Ni tintini ni tietia na na me boa.
Because okay executive summary na JJ under recommendations or say government may into 3I or say government may consider terminating the PPA of GPGC into bracket executed between government and GPGC with an installed capacity of 107 megawatt at an estimated cost of 18 million USD, or else pay excess capacity charge of 24.90 million USD per annum over the contract period of 4 years. We know UTS said we could have paid 18 million and that's all.
Negotiated. You been negotiated. This is a committee. First of all, let me put on record that I never set up an Ahinkra committee.
But who set it up?
I didn't set up an Ahinkra committee. So and I'm challenging the ministry to produce documents showing say I set up an Ahinkra committee report.
No, but what's an Ahinkra committee?
I'm not aware of any Ahinkra committee.
In 2016,
let me put that on record here. Say I'm not aware of an Ahinkra committee report.
No,
I know what I'm talking about.
But are you aware of an Ahinkra committee?
I have seen something on social media, unsigned, with some names. I have worked in the ministry. So we'll set up committee, or write it to committee members.
Yes.
Giving them terms of reference. The terms of reference will be part of the committee's report. Committee report near ready. All members of the committee will append their signature to own that document. I'm challenging this government to make that document available.
That is the report not available.
One, that we wrote to set up an Ahinkra committee.
Okay.
Two, that this is the Ahinkra committee report signed by members of the committee.
Look, as far as you are concerned, no, you have no knowledge of any Ahinkra committee.
I don't know of the setting up of an Ahinkra committee in my time. And I'm saying that produce the evidence. Look, and I don't want to personalize this issue as if say many Godfred were issue. I never mentioned Godfred's name.
Yeah.
Let me put this on record. When I was discussing this matter following the judgment, I kept saying government. I decided that I won't personalize it as if say, and he even says, Yama ruling on your age. And I'm a boy.
Yeah, in
so where is that personalization? And I'm dealing with an issue. And I may say, look, evidence is the game. Let government bring the letter.
That shows
setting up an Ahinkra committee. That is one. Two, because in this document, in the judgment, when Ahinkra appeared before the committee, they asked that they produce a Ahinkra committee report. The judgment says that they rather brought a redacted version.
So the 18 million you quote, who quoted from document bank?
I am quoting from the judgment. Because that is an official document.
Which judgment referred to a certain Ahinkra
committee report? A certain reporter, ministry, Deba say, we are an Ahinkra committee report. Now, and then they make it this suggestion. And a court, no, arbitration case, mongo for document, Abanko no go to be free mu. That is a redacted version.
That is the conclusion a court on the report that was
exactly. It's in the document. A redacted version. Now me read where me make be a me quote paragraph. Ni mo quote page. Ni hu be bia no kreda. Me say aban, I'm challenging you. Bring the letter where I wrote to Dr. Ahinkra appointing the Dr. Ahinkra committee report. That's one.
But did they say you wrote it? Because you were not...
My ministry. Not my ministry. Wrote to Dr. Ahinkra. Setting up Dr. Ahinkra committee. That's one. Two. Just two items.
But who knew Dr. Ahinkra? Do you know him? Who is he?
You see, I don't want... He was a technical advisor.
At the ministry?
At the ministry.
During what time?
Me free one or call. Earlier no Energy Commission.
Okay.
Dr. Donko Bay no deneba so me boy yenye.
Okay.
Later no sa call.
Okay.
Me nem krofo akaza o. Yesu ye won krofo a investigation. Two items. I've seen the media talking about a certain report. I thought that what the media would do first is that let's authenticate this report. Don't you think it's fair?
No, it's fair.
Let's authenticate the report. Fair. And every report, committee report, Parliament and ye na ye adwuma pen. Ye members of the committee will sign. I know why I'm raising this matter. And yema koso wo papa with this so-called report.
Because
but you see, I want to be responsible.
From this report copy now, me one Oshe 0.3.0, for example, it speaks about membership of the committee. And like I said, the committee is made up of 17 members.
So we call last page
yeah.
Is it signed? Is it signed?
No.
So let's ask
from
for
relevant governmental institutions.
No, that's how we work. And I'm
members, yeah, I agree.
That's how we work.
I agree.
Not you go and put some soft stuff. No, we don't do that.
Because interestingly, where it comes with almost terms of reference.
May say two things.
The signature is important.
Yes.
And the letter.
That authenticate. The letter from our ministry.
Yeah.
Because you normally write to the chairman.
Yeah.
You have this Anahenkra committee report.
Yeah.
You are the chairman.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah? I'm not raising these issues
just for raising.
I know, but I want to be responsible. Because this program is a very highly rated program. I could have said so many things about things that went on, which resulted in people being dismissed. No, I don't want to go there. I just look, Anyama Akoso. But let's stick to the matter. I have requested for two things, and I'm pleading of you as a ministry to follow that up.
To follow that
so
up.
That then we know that there's an authentic report. Okay. Because why is it that when they asked for the report, they couldn't produce the whole report to the arbitration?
Is to the arbitration.
Yes. Why?
In the UK. But was any let's put the Ahenkra committee aside. Was there any other committee set up to review PPAs?
We set up so many committees to do so many things for us.
PPAs review specifically?
No, a lot. PPAs, what is normal in our ministry? I was part of a committee. Say no, Dumso no ya solve it. Going forward. It's normal.
Yeah.
When they do that, you are given a letter. The terms of reference is stated. The report. The report is advisory. It's not obligatory. Because this report asks the minister to negotiate. Did they negotiate?
Which that report cannot be relied on any longer. So
let's see that's what they relied on. So assuming without admitting, I've asked for two things. Now I've moved from that leg to what the minister himself says, that I depended solely on the committee report. And I just
to give the advice.
And I say the committee advised you to negotiate. Did you negotiate or say no? So how then did you rely on the committee's report?
Because the committee said you may terminate.
So it's optional.
The contract. Yeah,
and then when you are terminating, negotiate with them. And then when you are negotiating, you should endeavor to come to an amount of 18 million. It's in their judgment. Look, the judges don't know it. So
yes,
they don't care about Jinapor or somebody. They are doing a professional job, and we opted to appear before them. And nobody is questioning the judgment. So why didn't we negotiate?
But so say in that same judgment, JJ, the arbitration came to the conclusion that 18 million will not suffice because again of some terms in this same contract. Because, and I think Gofredami alluded to that, so also guaranteed term and our contract even when you decide to abrogate today, you would have to look at the entire term and pay the compensation to cover the entire term. And an easy thing, say negotiating 18
So they didn't depend solely on the committee's report. It's as simple as that. Because he himself says that he disagreed with the 18 million.
Absolutely.
So therefore he didn't rely solely on the committee's report. And if I'm Attorney General, now committee can say even terminate. I may. It's a may. Committee can say terminate. He says you may. Now say me decide this may terminate here. Won't I go and look at the agreement?
The agreement.
Abba. I mean governors near the you say. Why? You disagree with them that 80 million. Another question, Obi. He disagreed with the 80 million.
Yes.
Did he invite them? What's the 80 million? How did you come by this 80 million? Can you give me a breakdown? Why do you think we can achieve 80 million? Is there any other option?
But
you don't think a minister would do that?
With the 18 million is Godfrey Dame, not Gloria Akofo.
So Gloria agrees then? Or, I don't know. I'm not interested in Godfrey Dammy's personality. I don't want to personalize it. I'm dealing with institutional issues.
Yeah.
Me ko no ka so opeso ka nokre. What's no credit, I disagree with the 18.
Yes.
So why are you worrying yourself, Godfrey Dammy? Why? And you say you didn't write the letter. So what is your beef? And that you are not interested in circumstances that led to the termination. Can Okrepa and Kayan terminate a contract here? Would this 170 million come up?
But and also say you terminate contract now. What is the cost benefit analysis? Because the point they say
there are two options.
Hold on. The point they say the committee in the report now will say non-existent. You know.
No, I didn't say it's non-existent. I'm just challenging.
You are challenging the authenticity of the report.
Yeah.
Okay. That same report they recommend the 11 PPAs and then we should cancel completely. Those 11 PPAs, you know, according to Godfrey Dammy and their considerations, no, and they say those 11 PPAs, no, sika ani ebetia in terms of excess capacity charges, no, about $540 something million.
We are not dealing with other PPAs. Let's deal with GPGC. If we want to discuss other PPAs,
yes,
I'm well versed, well seized in that arena.
But GPGC was part of the 11 PPAs.
Now the judgment debt issue is about GPGC. So I beg you, let's limit it to GPGC. If we want to engage in a conversation on so-called 11 PPAs, I have enough information from ECG and the rest that would deflate this so-called 11 PPAs, including what I termed as peddling of falsehood to Parliament. I have all that record, but I don't want to mix the issues. It's deliberate. It's deliberate. Look, Ghana was 170 million years ago. Could we have avoided it? Was there any other alternative? Or 170
Do you also go with the figure 170 million?
I've done the calculation.
Based on what?
Based on the interest on the 136. Because it dates back to a certain date.
And I've done all the calculations. Using percentage, man.
Available rates are cost new issue. I've checked everything. You know, five Godfrey then 136.
138.
Fantastic, 138. Listen to what the ruling says. 171. The basis of that recommendation is unknown. The copy of the PPA committee report submitted into the record by Government of Ghana is heavily redacted. Notwithstanding the tribunal's order that the unredacted text be disclosed. The tribunal gave an order. Say, Abai, sa PPA document amukan, mumfa ni nyina amra. Abai will be to be free mun koi.
That is the court's conclusion.
This is 171, paragraph 490. I'm talking of the full court ruling.
But just me person obuayen.
Mabuao.
On because you want us to limit ourselves to GPGC, you know, on GPGC PPA, you know, was a committee set up by your ministry to review that PPA?
No.
And I said to look into that PPA. You know?
No. We didn't set up any committee. No, let them produce that letter.
Okay. Was there any committee set up to review all PPAs?
I am saying, me and Kasa, I chaired a committee.
Okay.
I share all these PPAs under the instruction of Vincent Tekwe. And I'm saying, we do set up a lot of committees. I've left there for more than 5 years now. Now there's an Ahinkra committee. I say that I didn't write to set up an Ahinkra committee. I want to be very careful.
Okay.
I want to be very, very careful because my freehold, I only talk about things that my memory serves me. I don't want to step into other arena because these matters, you must be cautious.
Okay.
So that's my answer for you.
Into limiting ourselves to GPGs, you know, I would want to believe, say, everything a works our contract with you and possibly your minister will stand by BB contract with
This contract?
Yes, GPGC contract.
Now, government Parliament of Ghana approve you. What can I say?
Okay.
Now, me worker. I did our Parliament. 275 people.
Yes.
Parliament I jeer to mu. Now me ma betra ha. Say, what is my beef? No, they na met me.
Okay. Ain't this contract, no, if you read a emergency power agreement, ain't there was a company, no, MINBB on emergency basis. True?
Let's go. Not you. I'm listening.
Ain't there were some condition precedent and there was a company, no, any government of Ghana a meeting. contract to become effective. When I read from clause 3, condition precedent, the performance of the obligations of the parties under this agreement is subject to the prior fulfillment or waiver of the following conditions precedent. GOG conditions precedent. 1. Ratification of this agreement by the Parliament of Ghana. 2. The GOG having obtained parliamentary approval for the required tax exemptions. 3. GOG indicating its satisfaction with the state of GPGC's plant, such satisfaction not to be unreasonably withheld. And 4. The GOG having provided unimpeded access to a site for the GPGC equipment. In this contract, we are told, say, these conditions precedent, should be ready 30 days after the signing. Did that happen?
All these matters were before the arbitration.
No.
No, let me come. It will be very difficult for me to just sit here before you now, in just this second, to tell you everything that happened in terms of conditions. I mean, it ought to be.
But for the contract to be effective, it is in here, say, 30 days after signing, these GOG condition precedent should happen.
I don't determine whether a contract is effective or not. It's the courts.
No. The contract has provisions, etc., when the contract will be effective.
So are you asking me whether the contract was effective or not?
No, whether these conditions, which will make the contract effective, did they happen?
I know said there was parliamentary approval. Was there no
parliamentary approval?
Yes, was there no parliamentary approval?
Yes.
Was there no cabinet approval?
Yes.
What other thing do you want? Which one? And I can check for you.
Was there, because I was say the GOG having provided unimpeded access to a site for the GPGC equipment. Did that happen?
I know, sir, they had a site. I know, sir, there was a site at Abuaze before but when they were going, there was an oxidation issue. This is a technical matter. So a committee had to deal with that. It happens in any contract. It is normal, Obi.
No, I agree.
So why don't you see the issue?
No, the Americans say this is an emergency power agreement. So we're given a specific timeline. Say in 30 days, these things should happen for the contract to be effective. It didn't happen in 30 days. So
what is your point? Do you have a problem with something there? Then I'll address it.
Honorable. 2015, a contract was signed. By 2017, the contract had not actually taken off. And this is supposedly an emergency contract.
And I'm telling you, so when you sign contracts, sometimes you have challenges. Look, I'm on Mampenyi, we're your minister. On Mampenyi, a press conference. And I can say, no, addressing the whole nation.
The whole nation, yeah.
I said COVID, and we hear until within 1 year, obesity over 100 hospitals. Wankasa. The president of the republic. And the Minuka said one block on fancy form. Even one single block on fancy form. A ban way shall say every district will have a factory. Every village will have a dam. 1 million per constituency. 200 million for Zongos. So I'm saying that in contract execution and our project execution, you can hit a challenge. And I'm telling you, I knew. So one of the challenges was this issue of oxidation from the technical side. But my question is that, what is the issue?
The issue is that since it was an emergency power agreement and timelines are also meaty to make this thing really an emergency agreement, did not happen. So really by 2017 and even by 2016, this contract probably should have been abrogated by you, because in conform condition present and everything they did not meet to even make this whole contract effective. Because at the time, not losing the emergency
status. What can I say? In case the BBC ANC into abrogate. So when we abrogate it, I will not pay 170 million or 138 million.
Yes, but at the
time, so you must exercise caution. You just don't say that because one condition be. There's a challenge with it in a contract, you rush to abrogate. And then the DBC baby away.
But it was an emergency contract.
It doesn't matter. Look, a lot of people are listening to this. The fact that you need a power. Now say maybe there's an unforeseen challenge on the way. You don't rush to terminate. And all these parties went to court and advance all these issues. Do you know government's reason for termination? You know it.
Yes, sir.
I have the letter here.
About Parliament. Or Parliament.
He did not. Let me put it on record. Ajakun never informed us about terminated GPGC agreement. Never. Let them show me that evidence.
So Parliament was not seized with the reason.
Parliament was not informed even about the termination of GPGC's contract.
In the letter, Ben and also on the
Mr. Buachi Ajakun actually letter a terminated contract.
Okay.
No? And then a medeba baby a walk,
Okay.
Or terminated contract, Or say nienti a war terminated contract, ne say GPGC for a breach terms of the contract. That's what he said.
Yes.
Or say the ministry has been informed by that this similarly, although it's required to obtain this from the commission prior to construction, you failed. In view of the above, government has taken a decision to terminate the agreement effective the date of this letter due to GPGC's breach
of the terms. And part of the terms near condition.
And no, where raising aqua court a bogu. So we don't even discuss this matter again. And you know a competent court. This letter ya no cite and yama was cite case mu yese mo anye esemu yese mo anye esemu yese akọ court lawyers ekukudam judge ekukudam o ma bi mu judge mu twotwo mu judge mu akantinka judge a wo mu nima asemu ahwe mu ese wo letter no fa baabi twotwo na enya adwuma na enya adwuma kina na me ma betena so condition president 1 condition president me say ye dey biom we've passed that stage.
Okay.
We've passed that stage. We're no more there.
Do you know, as part of this contract, no JJ, say for GPGC, your capacity charges be more. Do you have?
I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware that they've raised any invoice.
And under you never paid any.
No.
Charges.
No. I'm not even aware of any invoice demanding even payment.
Is their plant on stream now?
No.
What did it ever come on stream?
Yes, it's in Ghana. No, about Ghana. And now more install it. Then this government decided they will terminate. The plants are in Ghana. They are in Ghana. And I'm saying there are two options.
At what point are plants in Bedru Ghana? In Bedru Ghana time, man? You don't have that information?
I can check for you. I can pull my record.
But
I have a lot of records.
Under you. AMA 2016.
Please let me just check for you. I don't want to... You see, I want to be very honest. I want to be very consistent. I don't want to leave you no Jinapor can say you're checking no, let me check for you.
Okay.
I can pull the records. I try to save all that information. But I'm saying Senka terminated contract would we be paying this amount? That's the key issue.
Very fantastic point. But do you also think, sir, seized with the information, said the committee, the so-called committee report, if you were Minister of Energy, na committee na yes cost benefit analysis also with your knowledge, won't you terminate?
The first thing every party to an agreement should do is to attempt negotiation. It's basic common sensical thing to do. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. Oh, good faith. Me no agreement. The first thing I would do is to attempt to negotiate. Unless I am 100% sure. Say, look, it's so watertight. So when I terminate,
Okosroba from Krainsi.
And they go Attorney General and say, look, what's your agreement now? In favor. So why would you go to terminate?
But then you better agreement in favor.
I disagree. In favor, say. Is it the only lawyer in Ghana? So all the MPs in parliament, these lawyers are mabobo mudino. Because it went to them. Uko parliament, you are going for approval. Aya approval na uko jana meboa. Say look, man negotiate baby amedruni. Ghana for nyina ntimi hwemu. Mu na yayi mu say mu hwe contract in mumame.
Yes.
Peruse it. If you are okay, mumame to me na menko sign. Is that not what he went to do? So what is this issue? What is this issue? Why? Why? I mean, don't you think that is mind-boggling? You can have your opinion. Well, I'm not worried about your opinion. Supreme Court will rule against you. I think that they were not fair to us. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It remains my opinion. The Supreme Court judgment stands. Even as I disagree with them, that is it. So I have no problem if somebody has his opinion. But to make it look as if it's unkwana wanyansa.
Or no new opinion unkwana.
I mean, why? And you knew that opinion and yet terminated. You knew it. Say, look, this agreement, there be my contract, yet terminate here, ebe hadri. And yet your termination is even not based on excess capacity. In this letter, there's nothing like excess capacity. Read the Jacob's letter. There's no mention of excess capacity. It talks of breaches.
Breaches of the terms?
Of the terms of the agreement, which went to court and we lost miserably. And because of that, we are paying huge sums of money.
But the other thing, and so, and say, how the agreement was cut. Of course, like I say, cabinet may approve, parliament and so may approve. You cannot really say much about this. But for a lawyer like Godfrey Dame, his issue, for example, in the term options, clause 2A and B, and the fact say when you raise the issue, say okay, nkofoi breachy condition precedent that's spelled out in clause 1. Now, I'm also quickly the work of clause 2. In the clause 1, I can say, okay, a breachy term, condition period, ubetimi HM. But clause 2A and B, 2A, neka say, subject to the provision of clause 25 of this agreement shall have a term commencing on the signature date and continuing until 48 months after the full commercial operation date. From signature date, 48 months on. The term shall be a guaranteed period. And in the event this EPA is terminated in accordance with the provisions thereof prior to its scheduled expiration, and prior to the completion of the 48 months, as a result of the default of any of the parties, the party not responsible for the default may proceed in accordance with clause 25 of this agreement. On one hand, I say, okay, so when meet condition precedent near there, ubet me cancel contract. On the other hand, what's a guaranteed period? Meaning that within that guaranteed period, any time a ubecha contract, you have to pay the person compensation covering the entire contract period. Why would you go into such a contract?
The more he tries to explain these things, the more a man say no cry a yes.
I didn't hear.
Lawyer Nibia will be when you are reading the terms of contract, read its entirety.
Yes.
Why would you decide the way read clause 1 pen to call? Is it done anyway? Say contract can say that way. We will read clause 1. We read clause 1 and we can terminate. You do arbitration, you say clause 2 or 1. Ekosiisen. I didn't have it, ma'am. Abba. Hey. Ediani. No, you see, he should take things easy. One tunable. Giddy. I mean, you go and tell the whole nation, say, look, when you took the contract, you read only clause 1. It's terminated. And you read the clause 1 and says it's terminated. Now, clause 1 says terminated. But you go through court, no? Yes, and you believe we're meeting to what terminated. But you drew court and say, now what's your clause 2? Clause 2 is to say, what's your name? And now what is that what?
Now then I'm clause 2 in Sushimo.
Me say, me. No, some mystery. No, but can't you say it's funny? It's funny. So you won't read the whole contract? You won't even ask one of your subordinates, your contract, mommy, you terminate. Do we have full coverage? Your terminate, are we covered? Or there will be issues? Evaluate and advise me. So that even if clause 2 now, hey, Attorney General, want to serve you on that committee. Committee, did we have a rep there? Why is this clause there? Can you explain? Abba. Why? Nti me pass na me Minister of Energy na me minister. Na me who bibia. One time I was so bounced off one or two people, or even read the whole document. Please, let's take things serious. Yes, look, this country, let's take things serious. I have no problem if you disagree with portions of the contract. That's normal. I mean, why? We disagree with a lot of issues from government side. Contract here, controversy here by Ejapa. I came here, raised a lot of issues about it, even as lay as I am. Some of which made a lot of sense. You are wrong, I disagree with you. Where you say, that is it. But when you decide to terminate, you are taking us to another level. Especially when we are being faced with this amount of judgment debt. Please. Please.
Because now, also baby, I'm a kind, you know, it make reference to 25. So what kind of clause 25 I now? And this is one of the issues accompanying areas here. If this agreement is terminated by GOG due to GPGC's breach of its obligations under the agreement or GPGC default, where such breach of obligations or GPGC default entitles GOG to terminate the EPA pursuant to the provisions of the EPA, GPGC shall pay as an early termination fee an amount equal to capital recovery charge multiplied with the amount of energy the GPGC equipment would have produced, operating at the guaranteed availability for the remaining term, up to a maximum of 24 months within 90 days after issuing of the termination notice by GOG. Into a hanokra very instructive. Say if GOG believed say GPGC ye BBA, then this contract entitles us to take some money from GPGC based on this provision.
All this was advocated in court. Yes, I say we excuse my language of me. And yes, you better a contract. There was a forum for you, go for it.
Of course.
There was a forum, a proper forum. I want to put it to you, I put it to me. Mona moko kama asem. No one raising is no most well raising. Then an independent arbiter listening to all of you. And then rules to the extent say yes, if a document crabra, what to be a from the near open echo. One was will be to two and a maho. Eddie Abeche Penny say about your friend saying that. What will be that? But you see, there was another issue. Was Omoka Chen say the GPGC contract was the most expensive. He said it. Page 4 of the parliamentary memo. Comparison of independent power tariffs, table 2. GPCDA 4.0. Any
4.0
any
cents?
4.0 US cents.
US cents, okay.
Per kilowatt hour.
Okay.
AXA 4.5. Is it the cheapest? Car power 5.6. Is it the cheapest?
No.
Sen power, any President Kufu also no. No, Sen power 5.0. I think President Mills. Okay. Is it the cheapest? Asogli phase 2 4.4. Is it the cheapest? So why do you say GPG is the most expensive? He's been misled. He's been misled. And then he says, look, Yaka said there's an opportunity to export power. Yabua, there's no opportunity to export power. Anamebua. Listen to this. Joint memorandum to Parliament submitted by the Minister for Finance and the Minister for Energy on first demand guarantee, 24th July. Signed by Ken Oforiata and Boachia Jaku. This is a joint memorandum. 24th July. This is what it says. And let me quote. Gridco has signed a 20-year contract with La Société Nationale de l'Électricité du Burkina, Sonabel, into brackets.
French na basano.
Man, then, mother. to transmit electricity from VRA to Sonabel. Gridco also signed a 5-year contract with La Communauté Électrique de Benin.
Electric.
Electric. On 12 February 2016 to transmit electricity to CEB. This is the Agence France Development Project now. Next year, transported 200 megawatts.
Yes.
And would have been making $12 million on it.
But is there not one thing building the infrastructure that would allow you to
That is why we had awarded that contract.
No.
So as this is coming,
yes,
you don't wait, get the power plants ready.
Yes.
There's no infrastructure to carry it.
Yes.
That's why this was already in an advanced stage.
Yeah, but building the infrastructure to carry it, no, and you guarantee it will be better power.
Almost signed contract agreement will be better power. Mr. They have signed a 20-year contract.
To buy
our power.
How many megawatts?
200 megawatts would have been exported.
200 megawatts.
Yes.
Out of an excess capacity of saying.
There is, look, I even have those issues of excess capacity here from ECG. I'll quote the ECG document to you to prove to you, say, what they call excess capacity are reserve margins. They are not excess capacity. They are not excess capacity. The 200 million is the 20% reserve margin this nation requires. and that this excess capacity thing is bogus. Earlier, no, I'm saying 5 billion. So, I'm saying we spend $1 billion per annum on excess capacity. Yes. They kept saying it. There was a question in Parliament. Minister Bawa says rather 243 million per annum. 243 and 1 billion. Look at the difference. Can you imagine? Then we met ECG in Koforidua, and ECG said yes, 243. And I asked them, this 243, how much of this constitutes reserve margin? I'm saying about 220. So where's the so-called excess capacity? Where is the so-called excess
findings
capacity?
Of the committee, and this is the Ahinkra committee. The committee established.
Look, let me put on record before departure. I'm not debating any Ahinkra committee.
No, I know,
but I'm saying that I did not establish, or my ministry, to the best of my knowledge, did not establish an Ahinkra. Because he kept saying that NDC for Ahinkra committee. I'm saying that I do not recollect that we established an Ahinkra committee.
That's fair. The committee established that even though capacity additions will be required in the years to come, the scheduled capacity addition from the executed PPAs is in excess of the required economic and sustainable capacity additions, which include a 20% reserve margin.
So there's a 20% reserve margin.
Absolutely.
And I'm saying today, you see, what they are talking about are projections. I am talking about actuals.
Actual.
You get my point?
Yes.
Outturns. Outturns are actuals. Even GPGs, you know, already almost say there's a likelihood that you will need it. So we are entering into the arena of probabilities. I am talking of actual figures are SC. So if you take 2020, 2019, they are actuals. And I'm saying if you discount this 243 by this 20% they are talking of, this excess capacity, brouhaha, is moot. That's what I'm saying. And let them challenge me with the figures. I'm putting out the figures. It's not about name calling. I put out figures. If you challenge those figures, bring your counter figures. And say Jinapor 240 and can reserve margin. No. Our reserve margin is this amount. 240 there. Idle capacity. We settled this matter in Koforidua. We had a long debate on it.
Because
then they say take or pay.
Let me finish this. The committee subjected the PPAs to legal, technical, and financial scrutiny. From the electricity supply and demand plans that were reviewed and adopted by the committee, Ghana would require generation capacity ranging from 3,170 megawatts in 2018 to 5,407 megawatts in 2030. This scenario assumes that there would be adequate fuel to power the plant, which are thermal plants, and it goes on to say, and I think all the PPAs. No,
I get what you're talking about. I'll address it. I'll address it. I understand perfectly. So we are talking about planning.
Yes.
Do you know why we had Doomso for a long time? I boil it down to planning.
Because there was a generation shortfall.
We assume that there will be generation. So I refer you to the Energy Commission document 2013. Energy Supply and Demand Outlook for Ghana. Final document. April 2013. Page 4. The technical demand capacity, the corresponding maximum peak would have been between 1,900 to 2,500 and 3,100. So what they were saying is, they expect to be 3,100. However, this is not attainable, considering the limited installed grid power generation capacity. So 2013, Energy Commission made it clear, so we don't have enough generation capacity.
Yes.
So this issue of Doomso from 2013 was a financial challenge. It's not true. I don't know if you get my point.
I get your point.
This is Energy Commission, not me. The body, an authoritative body saying that we don't have enough generation capacity. And then went on to project, say with our installed capacity of 2,400, I said 2,500, annual demand will increase by 10% cumulatively. So what would the government do? You begin to get more generation.
More generation. But more generation with the 20% reserve margin at the back of your mind.
You plan, say, look, every year 10%. So if I'm doing, I just put a calculator and do a future value 1.1 raised to the power, maybe 8 years times this amount.
Yes.
Or I do an annuity so that I know that every year I must add on this.
Yes.
And I'm saying that by now, based on their projection, we should have been consuming 5,000 megawatts. Not installed capacity or consumption. But we are not there.
Yes.
So projections are like budgets.
No, but the point is, in the now, when we were faced with a crisis,
yes,
the power purchase agreement we signed, Ninyina power na edeba on board. Na saying
I
they
stated,
did outstrip our 20% reserve margin. What are the facts relative to that?
Because you deal with dependable capacity. You just don't do it in store capacity.
I agree.
So let me get there.
I agree.
Let me get there. Let me deal with this. I'll deal with all these matters one after the other. We were not just dealing with emergency, solve the emergency, but think of the future.
Look into the future.
Car power was 10 years. Aban were increasing it to 20 years. You know that?
Yes.
Let them deny it. Why have they increased it? Recently, a minister, current minister, Ebeka said we need more capacity. It's on My Joy Online. It's on My Joy Online. I say we need more capacity. AXA, 5 years. Abanwe decided they will double it to 10 years. So what is this noise about excess capacity? What is this? Called B5. They need power today to power their plants. Omni power. Who do I check it? Fresam George. They need power. Cote d'Ivoire. We met via Cote d'Ivoire wants to buy power from Ghana.
But you are talking 6 years after 2016. If the person says
what you do is
in
that
2016,
fantastic.
when you were procuring
you've
all
now
these
made the matter simple.
Uh-huh.
So all you do is that over the past 6 years,
yes,
a carbon abedal due to excess capacity. It's simple. That's all. I'm happy you've limited it. Say 2016. Say you were 2021.
Yes.
4 years a trim.
Yes.
Yaboboka na ye moka. Is it due to excess capacity or reserve margin? We settle the matter.
I agree.
Cool.
I agree.
Finito.
I agree. But let me take you back to.
I was talking about take or pay.
It
became a big matter.
Yeah.
Sudden NDC for signing take or pay. Take or pay your bonnet, you say. It became a big matter. Aban where concern take or pay with an LNG project in Tema. We will start paying next month, even though we are not ready to take the gas.
Which project is that?
LNG Tema project. With the documents number bro. Aban, despite all this noise about take or pay, they've signed the take or pay agreement for an LNG project in Tema. It's called the Tema LNG project. I'm putting this on record. This your station goes very wide, goes very far, and very, very respected, intelligent people listening to this. I'm putting it on record. Say, despite the noise about take or pay, this government is going ahead to sign the take or pay agreement for the Tema LNG project. Let them deny it.
Okay, yeah, I would look forward for
that document. Now, I'm going to scan all of that. I'll send you copies.
And the other things will be we also be finding out when the GC
plans arrive. Yeah, I'll talk to those who are in charge.
Yeah,
and then I'll get
those two. And my final way will be, sir, at the arbitration, in your understanding of how some of these things work, now you have any other options? I exploit it and.
I rather think
after say
it guides us for the future. Even with PPAs, when we're also signing PPAs,
yes,
learning from all this, we must also watch certain things. Is to guide us. I have no problem if Mr. Odami wants to investigate whoever. I not look whatever he wants to do. Let him do it. I told him that look, Mr. Odami, you're not going to be Attorney General forever. These decisions you are taking one day, you will also be answerable. And there will be a new Attorney General there. A couple of years ago, I was a minister. And I'm your Bob No rank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Godfrey thinks that he's Attorney General...
Oh, Bob No rank. Oh, a ranking member.
If Godfrey thinks that he's Attorney General and will be issuing threats, any judgment debt. If I'm Attorney General, the first thing I'll do is, but why can't we didn't win this case? Is it that we didn't look at certain clauses or what? What led to the termination? Next time, can we learn something from this so that when we are terminating, this will guide us? His preoccupation is, negotiating, you police for investigating. You don't even want to look at your own setup. You know the final one, we missed the boat. We went for an extension and failed to meet the deadline.
Yeah, but that extension, he argues, and I said that option, he argues, after the arbitration's ruling, it was final.
So why then did we go for the second one? Why then did we go? What were we seeking to do?
And if you listen
to set it aside.
No, hold on. If you listen to him, he made the point, sir, and on a really government trying an option to see so salvage.
So why then didn't you meet the deadline of that option? Because there's a possibility of salvage. And if there's a possibility of salvage,
yes,
it's your duty to at least meet the basic requirements.
But we put in the contract, and I'll read for you this portion of the contract. That is, I think, clause clause 28 under miscellaneous. So we share contract now. I think point number, with your permission, I will read. Point number XVII, that's Roman numeral, XVII. Okay, say, in arriving at their decision, the arbitrators shall consider the pertinent fact and circumstances and be guided by the terms and conditions of this agreement. And if a solution is not found in the terms of this agreement, the arbitrator shall apply the governing law of this agreement. Both parties shall have the right to present documentary evidence, witnesses, and to cross-examine witnesses. This is the important part. I say, the decision of the arbitrators shall be final and binding upon both parties, and neither party shall seek recourse to a law court or other authorities to appeal for revisions of such decision. This is what we put in our contract with GPGC.
So why then did we go for the review and hire lawyers and pay them?
It's not a review. In arbitration, you do challenge.
So why did we challenge it if we knew that the door is shut? The door is shut. We don't have any opportunity. Why didn't we save the little money we have? We rather went and paid other external solicitors.
Do you have facts to that?
They were changing lawyers here.
No.
It's on my joy online.
We paid them money.
And you can file lawyers free.
No. The Americans, we are dealing with exactitude. Do you have facts that we paid them money?
No, I'm even saying that the basic thing, if we knew the door is closed, why did we even exercise that option? I know that when you exercise these options, you pay money. You should have asked him rather, Muchi, and say, now Moko is the door not closed. And he said that the stable...
The horses had bolted already.
So why then do you want to open the stables again? If the horses have bolted, why then do you opt for this second option? It is a court.
But is it not also curious, you did provision be say special contract name?
I'm saying that there was a negotiating team. You're asking the wrong person. You're asking the wrong person. And I think that these things are subject to interpretations by different people. Parliament looked at it. Attorney General's office probably looked at it. The negotiating team looked at it. And if they think they are okay, I will not come and sit here and question Ghana's parliament. Rather, if you knew that the door is shut, why did you exercise this option? And when you exercised the option, you went for an extension, Anamibua. You were granted initial extension. Within that extension period, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You went, you lost the case, and then you turn around and you are blaming others.
Okay. Honorable, my main messages be brave abanti. My main kind kakana fe menye o responses wo hona ye nhwemfa emra ewe. Ekosiisen so ne the Honorable John Jinapor, a member of parliament, ewo Yape Kosogo constituency, and he is the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee. We free lawyer Sami Jemfi ono ye National Communications Officer Edema NDC. Osi Obi, there is absolutely nothing wrong with clause 1 and 2
another lawyer,
another lawyer
yes,
of the GPGC EPA. They are normal contractual provisions that every lawyer should be familiar with. In fact, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the EPA in its entirety. The effective date was the day the agreement was signed, but the conditions subsequent had to be fulfilled within 30 days after the effective date by both GOG and GPGC, failing which the innocent party could terminate, provided that party wasn't the cause of the alleged breach or non-performance. This is a normal contractual provision in contractual agreements where the obligations of the parties are interdependent on each other. That is where one party would have to fulfill their obligations before the other party can fulfill theirs. It is surprising that Godfrey Dame doesn't understand this. Same Jemfi. To other men. different interpretations.
You are putting me in another night.
Who is speaking? I hear you. Kind the other ones now. I can now share and twasso. Let me see. We say. Okay. Redacted because GOG presented the aspect of the report on GPGC and not the entirety of the full report on all the PPAs. GOG sought refuge in confidentiality relative to disclosure on the other contract agreement. Or about what did you say?
Tribunal ne say yakase monfa non-redacted version emra. It's a court order.
But you have presented the findings of the committee of all the other PPAs to the court. When the issue in court, just with one.
Okay, Yamfani say GPGC assembly court.
Yeah.
Then court orders parliament say, monfa the whole day. Hands are proceedings emra. Also there be yede about GPGC in Kwaneba. And the court said there be monfa the whole day the emra. Yeah, but
also we in parliamentary hands are though. This is a committee that has sat on agreement. Some portions are confidential.
There's no need to debate this matter because the court says, give us the report in its entirety.
Okay.
You are now sitting and sending a text message said the redacted version is GPGC. Where is the evidence?
Okay.
Where is the evidence that it was just GPGC?
Okay, and that's the Honorable John Jinapor answer to, and also have they not been attacking government on non-fulfillment of promises? The operative word was emergency. Emergency.
Well, I don't know.
Emergency.
Why? I mean, Jaro. Oh, okay. No, I will be unfair to mention somebody. Can you remember Madam Fudi right to be unfair?
Okay, let me read the other messages. Now, Ekosiisen Suni Haya Sempa 94.7 FM. This one says, in fact, Honorable Abudulai Jinapor has made my day this afternoon. He has demonstrated to show that he's on top of issues. He has also demonstrated to show that the NDC as a political party has the men. Let me put on record that we, the youth in the party, are so proud of him and he should keep on with the good works and the sky will be his limit. Alhaji Hamza is in Pig Farm and on the way Abraying. This one says, is Mr. Jinapor questioning why didn't the government renegotiate but chose to abrogate the contract? Please ask him for me. Why should he in the first place go and negotiate and accept excess power we didn't need and go ahead to accept that excess power we didn't need for Ghanaians to be paying? How can you go and negotiate something you have no use for or immediate use for and burden Ghanaians to be paying for it?
I think I've dealt with that matter.
Yeah, you've dealt with that. Was that a prudential or a beneficial decision? Pythagoras and on the way. Pythagoras.
Pythagoras Mitchell.
Yeah. This one says, okay, let me see if we can get other messages. Obi, please ask Honorable John Jinapor, how come this government paid about $1 billion on account of excess capacity for 2019 and 2020?
I think I've explained that one too.
Junior in Tantra.
I've explained that one too. If you want me to re-emphasize
no, I'll come back to you when I'm done. Wait, sir. Obi, please tell JJ that the numerous PPAs signed and springing up of mushroom BODCs under the NDC 1 and 2 were just done to create a convoluted and spurious contract to attract judgment there, just like also they will proceed to the Supreme Court to bring the blah 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 to book. Okay, that's from, and you know the person. Obatampa Frances Rabna Esia.
Hey! Frances, Michelle.
Yeah. And also I should ask you if you don't feel scandalized by the number of PPAs.
I'd rather feel scandalized with this 170 million. I thought it was avoidable.
Wait, sir, Obi, is JJ saying if a contract goes through Parliament, it becomes sacrosanct? What about Ejapa, Chairman Eddie, Adenta, newly gone, and on the way up. This one says, so we allowed Ghana to go into such contract agreement initially. Why? Anyway, 5 years on, current government has no right to criticize past leaders if the current government has taken no action against them, the past government. If anybody did wrong, let's prosecute him or her. Guy G is in Newark, New Jersey. This one says, okay. Good evening, OB. I see John Jinapor dodging some of the legal questions by running to the political arena. Your questions are purely legalistic and are based on the court's judgment. John must stop the personalization and stick to the issues. Gustyman, break home. I think he's done well to stay away.
Have I personalized
I don't think so.
Where I am not a lawyer and I can't talk about legal issues, I won't prove to be a master of all trades. Gaiji won.
That be way Gustyman.
That's the boy. I'm saying a lawyer.
We say, upon listening to JJ, I don't think it's worth it voting in Ghana, because if we vote NDC or MPP, they are the same. They also saying recklessness in the use of our resources, don't care about the nation, just listen to him. I am sad. Kwame in Kojo Krom and on the way Abraham. This one says, okay. Let me see. Obi, find out from him, Honorable Jinapor, if all the gurus he mentioned as former attorney generals cannot make a mistake, does that make the contract also credible? Further, put it to him to answer whether the contract was a good contract or a bad contract.
Can I quickly say something on that? Yeah. It was a good contract.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they are the best. So if they can make a mistake, why can't Godfrey also make a mistake? Why do you think that all these people have mentioned, Godfrey Nima, including Sami Jemfi, a very intelligent and articulate guy who's demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that he's a man of metal.
Yeah. Hi, Obi. Kindly tell Mr. Jinapor that his question why the contract was terminated is low key. With the current contract signed, the country is saddled with $1 billion payment in excess capacity, and you still wanted the government to add on to that much. This confirms the statement of the Attorney General that this contract was a cooked one, meant to fail at its onset. The alternative is really scary.
Obi,
from the onset, Egbezwale.
Let me just deal with this quickly,
Okay.
If you read the Ahinkra Committee report, it never talks of $1 billion. Please, don't misinform people with your text message. It says that there's a 24 million capacity charge per annum. That's if we choose not to use the plant.
And that is relative to GPGC.
Yes, for 4 years.
But I think he was referring to all
we are dealing with GPGC. I'll go to the others if there's the need.
Okay.
If you multiply that by 4, it's 90-something.
90-something million.
I prefer even that to 138 in a Godfrey Dekano.
Okay.
And that if you negotiated, you would have gotten 80 million. So please, don't misinform people.
Wait, sir. Good afternoon, Senior. Kindly ask the Attorney General whether they went through the agreement before it was decided for abrogation. If so, why is he now blaming the previous government for that? Which administration abrogated the contract and what was the reason? So the Attorney General is saying that this government didn't do due diligence before abrogating the contract. Your coup and on the way about.
That's a very, very legitimate question.
Yes, your coup. Thank you. Let me see some. Okay. Okay, I'll come back to these. Some correspondents being they sent through into Yababani Ababa Beshe, and there seemed to be a letter. JJ, there seemed to be a letter from the company to the Ministry of Energy. Then the address of the company, a law firm of one of the then deputy attorney generals. I don't know, but I'll come to it.
No, but what I said was that Ubisa no say in the contract in a time you negotiating in 2015. Did attorney general look at it? That was a simple question.
Yeah, that was the question.
And I'm saying he rather chose to go and talk about say address B, attorney general B office, and I thought it was not fair.
Okay.
That's all I said.
Okay.
I don't know if my comment.
Yeah, I get you.
That's all I
said.
I mean,
but I think he also brought that in probably to make the point or drum home the point. Say, that is why he thinks that this whole contract was not well.
Yeah, so I was expecting him to answer your question first.
Okay.
Oh yes, Attorney General share, and I want share, and I mean me check here share.
Okay.
Then in addition, you bring this. If it's a fair comment.
Okay. Professor Kweku Asare, the popular Kweku Azar, I mean himself what in the day that or say Obi, when one looks at the circumstances surrounding this GPGC contract termination, the profoundly incoherent arbitration case, and the inexplicable and inexcusable failure to timely file an appeal by 2 foreign law firms, one comes to the inescapable conclusion that the termination was done without a full understanding, or perhaps in reckless disregard of its consequences. Little wonder that the arbitration tribunal, including our nominee, dismissed all our submissions. And mind you, sir, both parties know how to present or nominee on the arbitration.
I think Prof has brought my mind to something.
Professor
Professor
Dabi.
No, Professor
Fiajo. Yeah, rep here.
Yeah, appointed as the uncle representative. Or really against you.
Yeah, having been seized with.
Yes. Yeah. So what is this issue?
And you say the problem is, instead of holding those who goofed accountable, we'll reduce this to excuses, justifications, innuendos, insinuations, and high-sounding nothings. We will then have to borrow $170 million with interest to pay, or for the incompetence or recklessness, or both. And that's Professor Kweku Asare.
Professor Kweku Asare.
Yeah.
He's had issues to criticize us a lot.
Absolutely.
In fact, some of us even thought that he was too harsh on us. Until for somebody of that stature, no. I believe that his interest is not in NDC or MPP.
Yeah.
I believe that he's making an objective assessment, even though I may disagree with him sometimes. That's my belief.
Yeah.
2, I have no problem if any government wants to look at circumstances in the award of a contract. I'm not against that. But for you to say that you are not interested in why this contract was terminated the way and manner it was, you are not interested in why we went to court and lost in this manner, you are not interested even in the appeal. 2 international firms, they couldn't even meet timelines. All your interests, the lower one. Please, I mean, I'm just baffled by that.
Okay, we say, Obi, for the records, His Excellency John Mahama-led NDC had a program to be energy sufficient and to export the rest for foreign exchange to other West African countries in need of power. The NPP must be forward-looking and cut out this deceptive excess capacity argument. In any case, Nana Akufo-Addo promised the better governance. Where is that? Koku Mawuli Nanegbe. And on the way, Abba. For the purposes of clarity, can Honorable John Jinapor explain this? In an answer to your question on the Ahinkra Committee report, he asserted that the International Court, in giving its judgment, referred to some $18 million which GOG could have paid to GPGC if there had been negotiations on the matter. My difficulty is, if the Ahinkra Committee report, which JJ says is of doubtful validity because he didn't commission it, why would he turn around and rely on the figures therein, which the court supposedly quoted in its judgment? He should please come clear. Sir Obama in Pokwase.
Sir Obama, I just said Attorney General or no, or rely on the Ahinkra Committee report in its entirety. And I was just trying to point out the inconsistency in relying on that committee report. Say it cannot be the case. Say or rely on the committee's report in its entirety.
Okay.
The committee recommended for a negotiation, which you didn't do. You went ahead and terminated outright. I was just trying to demonstrate that inconsistency.
Okay.
I'm not relying on any committee's report for anything.
Okay. And you still stand by the point, sir, you never put together any committee.
No, I didn't say I never put together any committee. I said that this Ahinkra committee, I almost say Ahinkra committee, no. Good. I didn't put it together.
Obi, I've been silent waiting to hear Honorable Jinapor answer the question on the committee set up in 2016 to abrogate some of the power deals. What did they see wrong then? It is that question where you are but of the other committees, and now it's something you do regularly. Most committees to review. Did any of the committees recommend for the cancellation of any of the contracts and I'm assigned?
You see, I told you that I want to be very cautious on this program because I heard Godfrey say, Jinapor, the committee that you people set up, the Ahinkra committee, following on new morning show, your friend is
the super morning on Joy.
Show. I didn't even comment on that matter.
Yes.
I just because I wasn't sure.
Yes.
Following that, I have made several checks, and that's what you do. And I am clear in my mind. Say, I didn't set up a inquest committee. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And I told you, say my free hobby 5 years. I can't recollect everything, but this very one, once it's come up, it's a subject matter. I investigate it, and I ask for two things: the letter that I wrote to Dr. Ahinkra, appointing him as chairman of the Ahinkra committee. That's and one. Two, Ahinkra committee in Nankasa, the original report signed by members of the committee. Is that not a legitimate request?
It's fair. There is this letter, as I was speaking to you, dated 2nd July 2015, ref number 03/15. The Honorable Minister, Ministry of Power, Ministries Accra. That's Accra, Ghana. So, dear Honorable Minister, GOG, GPGC, EPA. Extension of time for meeting condition precedent. As you are already aware, GOG and GPGC Limited executed the above EPA in June 2015. Article 3 of the EPA, among others, states that, quote, GPGC shall at its own expense test samples of the natural gas to be provided by GOG to confirm whether or not they meet the minimum quality specifications stated in Annex 5, unquote. Following the execution of the contract, GPGC has made great effort to secure the services of companies that provide testing services for natural gas. However, we have been unable to find any local companies with local laboratories, neither any international companies capable to provide these services in a timely fashion. Fortunately, in the last couple of weeks, we are in discussions with Afrique Ventures, a foreign company with local presence, to have samples of the natural gas shipped outside the country for testing. To be able to proceed in the manner planned, we require GOG confirmation of the date and time for the filing of 2 bottles of natural gas to be used for the testing. We anticipate that the filing of the bottles will be done in the presence of officials of Ghana Gas and possibly WAPCO, after which the bottles of natural gas will be shipped to a laboratory outside of the country for testing. The report of the laboratory will then be sent to General Electric, the manufacturers of the GPGC turbines, for confirmation on the suitability of the quality of the fuel sample. And this is something that Ministry of Power Astampe and or more assign, I think 03/07 15.
And what's the issue with it?
No, we know this letter from GPGC, so we share letterhead Nasia. Omuka say registered office. Registered office. Care of, that is C/O. Ayine and Feli law officers. Number 03 Mango Street, adjacent Lion House, East Legon, Ghana. And a telephone numbers. When
Ayene was Attorney General, do you think he could have been doing
No, he was not Attorney General, no, a Deputy Attorney General.
When he was Deputy Attorney General? Are you saying he was Deputy Attorney General and still doing private business?
Nobody has said that.
So what is the issue?
No, but you remember the issue was raised. Say, the company, in some of their correspondence, used the address of the firm of one Deputy Attorney General.
I can't even sit here. I haven't seen this letter you are talking of. It hasn't come to me. I knew Ayene was the Deputy Attorney General at that time. I don't even know whether he had a law firm at that time. I don't know. But I'm saying when you make these things and just throw it out there, it creates a very bad problem. That's all I'm saying. But you see, the key issue for us is simple. Did government terminate this contract because of breach of the conditions, or they terminated it because of excess capacity? Which is which?
So from the letter from the energy ministry, see how can a breach of conditions?
So where is this issue of excess capacity
coming from?
What could terminate? We see breach. And now you are worrying us, in a conditions, say, why? Your letter says
you are saying, sir, the breach, you can say, excess capacity argument, no, takes cognizance of the 11 PPAs that were cancelled. And you are saying, sir, eliminate GPGC and deal with GPGC.
Because that is
and the reasons for the abrogation.
There's a GPGC contract.
Yeah.
It's led to this amount of judgment debt. Why are we there? What lessons can we learn? And how can we avoid such a situation in future?
Okay.
That is what this nation should be looking at. I think that is much more forward-looking. And I don't think that I've been personal at all.
No. I think,
and I don't think I've been abusive. I've insulted anybody. I try to deal with the issues. You may disagree with me, that one. But to say that I'm patronizing, no, I don't think so. And I've tried to answer the questions to the best of my ability.
Okay. I agree. Obi said, Obi, potential conflict of interest, could that not have affected how the agreement was entered into and executed?
Could that not have also affected how the agreement was terminated? Because I know, and I don't look. This termination has nothing to do with excess capacity. I'm telling you.
Not even breaches?
May say, I pity him.
Oh.
Yes. I pity him. You're doing come on. A lot happens.
John,
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
family feud. Look, please.
Hey.
John
Jinapor. CID for tons after our beko.
I had a principal crab of a movie. I give me phone. I call Cromwell as a hero. I call Fifi Magic a tablet. Yeah, the AK-47 about me fee.
Hey, and the wabre.
What's up? CID. Konya the people no atwira na ebewa ntotuani atoto wano. But so name say wonya ebonia. You don't get scared about these matters. GPGC, Jinapor, GPGC. But what I won't do is to run away from my colleagues.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I won't say that minister did this, so Monko Bisan. When I can also proffer some explanation, I will do that. If because of that, you want to set an eye on me, I mean, we leave that to God. I mean, why? Well, my President Rollins, as strong as he is, so heavy. We'll do our best. Those who disagree, they can disagree.
JJ,
you're doing very well. Continue like that. God bless us all. Thank you very much.
John Jinapor, he is the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, one of the most critical committees in Ghana's parliament. Onwansona Osai, a member of parliament for the people of Yape